Hello everyone, it is princess_mini4 and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time on how I was bullied in high school. If you guys are new here, please make sure you hit that notification bell and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a post. But I wrote some notes. So this was my junior year of high school, so it's from September 2018 through June of 2019. So I'm going to show you on my first day of school, because I was so hyped, y'all. Like, I thought I looked good. I got me some. I had my box braids. I had gotten my nails done. Let me show it on zoomed out. Look at me at my old house with my dog. But yeah, look at me. Look, I had me a little nose ring. I had my nails done, my hair done. Like, I went into that school year fresh, like, for real. I was like, you can't tell me nothing. But look what the devil did, okay? Look, I even got this video. This was already up on my channel, so, you know. Look, I was having a life, y'all. I really was. But, so it started right around my birthday. So this is picture day. Look, y'all couldn't have told me I was fine. And then, I don't know, it's just like I had my first like experience with like depression right around my birthday. So I was turning 2018. I was turning 17. Here's my little birthday cake. So I was turning 17. And I don't know, like, you know how it's like, I don't really remember much of it because it's been a little while now. Like, it's 2025. But it's like, I just remember just being down. Like, just not being myself. You know how you just, like, you feel like you're watching yourself. You not really feel like you're in your body. That's kind of the thing I could describe it as. And I remember going to the doctors a few times in and telling them that. And they were just like, you're a weirdo. Like, I would tell them I don't feel like I'm in my body. I don't feel like myself. And they would just be like, yeah, you're just weird. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just making stuff up. So I already told y'all how my family and everybody always thinks that I'm a hypochondriac. So a lot of times I just ignore things. So I just left it alone. I was like, I told them how I was feeling. And I told them that probably a year before this actually happened. So like in 2016, 2017-ish, I started telling them about that I don't really feel like I'm in my body. I don't feel like I'm here. I feel like I'm watching myself, and they just kind of just played me off. So probably things would have been a lot different if they would have listened to me. But I do remember this one picture. I'm not going to show the other girl, but my friend took this picture. And it's just like I couldn't even smile for the picture. Like, I just was not myself. I would sit there and cry all the time. Like, I got receipts, y'all. Like, I would cry all the time. This is me waking up the next morning. Look how swollen my eyes are. That's from crying all night. Like, and I didn't really know why I was crying. And even to this day, like, I remember I told my family, like, oh yeah, it's because my mom passed away and I'm upset. But I don't even think that was the real reason. I don't really know what started the depression, but that started all by itself. Like, I don't know what's up like that. And like I said, I don't truly know what brought it on. High school is hard in general. Yeah, it's hard in general. I already dealt with low self-esteem, feeling ugly, feeling unloved, feeling fat, actually being overweight and struggling to lose weight, struggling with feeling dumb or stupid and struggling in school. So I was going through all that. So that could have been what brought it on, but I don't really know. So yeah, I don't really know what brought it on, but I remember because I had a horrible teacher. Like, my vet teacher, she was horrible, y'all. Oh, hold on, let me sit back a little bit because it's making it all dark. She was a horrible teacher when it comes to, like, honestly, I didn't learn anything. Like, we had to do all this book work, and like I said, when we would get in trouble, we had to do book work. She act like she cared, but she really didn't care. So I feel like a lot of this stuff that was just going on in my life just kind of brought it on, really. And it's like, I really wanted to be a veterinarian back when I was in my freshman year of high school, which is why I took vet tech. It was called vet tech, so vet technician. So I went to a vocational high school. So you take like if you want to be a teacher, you have, what was it called? Childcare. If you wanted to be like a nurse, they had health thoughts. So you're learning stuff that you would be learning in college, but you're learning it in high school as well. You're still having your math, your art, your science, and all that, but you still have your vet tech. So I took vet tech. There was a lot. There was sports medicine, there was culinary, there was cosmetology, anything you want, they had. So it was like, I was like, oh my God, I want to be a veterinarian. So I took vet tech thinking like, cool, I'm getting a little leg up on everybody else. Turns out she was a horrible teacher and she stirred the entire class. I think maybe 1 or 2 people out of a class of like, there was like 20 of us, I think. Like, but then by the end, there was only like 15 because a lot of people left. They literally moved out of the school because of her. Like, I think only 2 of the 15 are doing vet tech related stuff. She literally stirred us all away from it. She was just not a good teacher. She was mean. She was rude. She would call you insults. She told this one girl, you will never succeed in life. You will never go to college. Like, she told this girl that. And I was like, what kind of teacher says that? But anyway, she definitely was part of the reason. That I can say. She would literally call kids dumb and stuff. Like, she was crazy, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I'm surprised she's still employed there. But if she still is, I don't know. But I'm trying to see if I have any more pictures. I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't think I do. At least not yet. Okay, so let's go back to this. So I had been bullied a little bit in the past, but it wasn't like a lot, you know. Like, I'm saying I was lucky on that, I guess. Once when I was in, I don't remember exactly when it was. I was either in kindergarten through the 2nd grade. I don't remember exactly, you know. I was sitting at breakfast at school and I just sat down at a table, and I guess this boy had a problem with me sitting down at the table. He was like, say I'm in the 2nd grade, he's like in the 5th grade. So it's like, you're a weirdo. But I guess he had a problem with me sitting down at the table. So the whole time I was sitting there just eating my breakfast, he kept on saying, ew, you're ugly. She's ugly. Like, literally, I'm a little kid. And he's like, at least 3 times my age, not 3 times my age, but 3 years or 4 years older than me. And he kept on saying that to me. So I just sat there and I ate. And then after I ate my breakfast and I was ready to leave, I grabbed my stuff. I went and I put my tray. And I remember he looked at me and I looked at him and I rolled my eyes. But the whole time I was sitting there, his friend was like, stop saying that. That's not nice. Stop saying that. But he ain't listen. But it's so funny. I'm 23 now, about to be 24. I remember that like it was yesterday. So, like, so people think, oh, things you do to kids when they're younger, they don't remember. That's a lie, because they do remember. I remember a lot. Trauma, okay? So, I was definitely overweight in high school. I kept trying to lose the weight. I really wasn't trying too much, but I was trying a little bit. But I just couldn't lose it. But y'all already know that because I had weight loss surgery. But honestly, my weight didn't bother me too much. It really didn't. My grandma laughing out loud. My weight really didn't bother me that much. Like, I felt good. Y'all see my picture on my first day of school. I felt good. Like, I really had no problem with my weight. Like, then I was in chemistry class. And one thing about me, if y'all don't know, I love science. Like, I really do. Some of it's boring, but I like science. In chemistry, it's a lot of, like, you know, labs. So I was so excited for chemistry. Guess what happened, y'all? So there was these 2 boys. I don't remember the other boy. I remember one boy's name. And I ain't gonna put his name out there. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't really care. Like, he could come up to me right now and I'm just gonna be like, hey. You know, but he doesn't bother me anymore. And it's like, I can look back at it now and just kind of be glad that it happened, because I feel like it kind of made my skin grow a little thicker. But I would, what is that? So they would sit in the back of class. So you know how when you're in chemistry, how they had the little tables in the back? Our class was full of people. So they would sit like on those tables because there was no room anywhere else. And my school had a habit of doing that, overbooking people in classes. But public school systems, okay? So they would sit at the tables in the back and they would just talk about people, like all kinds of people, even people that weren't even in the class. Like, they talked about my best friend one time saying, yo, you know that girl? Like, this is them talking to each other. You know that girl? He's like, what girl? He said her name. He was like, yeah, she's real big. And I'm like, she's not even in the class. Like, and I don't think I ever told her that. But I was like, I wouldn't even tell somebody that. Like, that's, anyway. So I was sitting there one day and I had to walk by them. So I walked by them and he said to the other boy, oh my gosh, she is so big. Like, literally, like, honestly, he said it loud enough for me to hear. So, you know, I just kind of, like I said, I don't know if I know I didn't say anything. I just kind of just kept going, went to my seat. But from that day forward, I never felt safe in that class. I never did. I never, like, if I ever had to get up and go pee, I wouldn't get up and go pee. I didn't want to have to get up and walk so they would say something to me. And it hurt me. And it hurt me in a lot of ways because it's like I lost like all the little bit of, you know, the self-esteem I had none. You know, it's like I said, I wouldn't walk. I wouldn't raise my hand. I didn't want to draw attention to myself. Then it's like, you know, I would never, oh my God, if I had to work with them as lab partners, it was the worst. I just hated that class. It went from being my favorite class, how much I love chemistry, to being the class that I literally dreaded coming to. And it's like, it literally ruined me. Like, I don't even know who I was at that point. Like, I feel like I went red. Like, I don't even remember much of that time because I just don't even remember being myself. You know, like, you think I was depressed before. Oh, it was 10 times more. So, I did try to reach out to the teacher. I remember sending her an email, can I come during lunch so I can talk to you about something that's happening in your class? She didn't see that. I probably emailed her that. I think I had this my second semester, so it was like in the spring. I probably emailed her that in like March. Tell me why she didn't say that until June. It says school's over now. But she never did answer me. And then one time she said, oh, Kalila, I seen your email. What's up? Mind you, the 2 boys are in the class. And there was like another person because we had to stay behind and do work. I was like, oh, nothing, it doesn't matter. Because it don't matter now. Like, first off, they sitting right there. Why would she do that, you know? I don't think she ever did know. She was a sweet teacher. She really was. She was out a lot, though. I don't know what's up with that. But whatever. Then I even reached out to this other teacher who had one of the boys in his class. And I reached out to her and I told her what was happening. And she said, I will talk to him and I will handle it. I don't really know what happened. She was like, oh, you know, I'm just going to threaten him and I'm just going to be like, look, you can't play, because he was playing basketball. So that would have gotten him off the team. That was what she was saying to me. And I was like, that sounds good. But it just didn't help. Like, even though, like, I don't even know if they really even talked about me anymore. But I know it definitely happened more than once. They definitely said it more than once. Like I said, it's been a long time. But they definitely said it to me more than once. Well, about me more than once. Because I do remember one time we were taking a final that they were cheating on. And they said it about me. Because I think I had to walk up there to get a pencil or something. I needed to go up to the front to get something from the teacher. And they said it again. So, mind you, I'm already not a good test taker. You know I failed that final. Because I couldn't even focus because they was talking about me. Like, I don't know. I was a little bit weak. I mean, I feel like if someone said something about me now, it would still hurt. Like, I mean, I'm human. I got human emotions. But I feel like now I would say something to them. I hope I would. I don't know. But yeah, so I started feeling really down and depressed. Well, more down and depressed than I already was. I was barely eating, barely getting any sleep. Like, I literally would not sleep at all in high school. And I would get up at 4:50 for school. And I would literally probably roll over at like 3 o'clock. Like, I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't function. Like, it did something to me. Like, I couldn't function in my other classes. When they weren't in my classes, I couldn't focus. I failed algebra. I did. By 2 points, but that's whatever. But I failed algebra. And it's like, it was because of them. Like, I know I probably was too dramatic and I let it get to me. But it just hurt me so bad. And I didn't tell anyone in my family. I think I told my grandma, but it was like 2 days before a big thing happened. So, trigger warning. If you don't want to talk about self-harm, then keep going. I ain't gonna get into too much because I don't know how YouTube is, but that happened because it just got so bad. And it was just, you know, and I think I had told my friends at that point, but what can they do? They got their own life going on and stuff. And it's like, if I'm telling the teacher and the teacher not doing nothing, you know, and I'm trying to get help from the teacher, she, you know, it was like, there's really nothing that anything else could happen, you know. So, I mean, granted, I probably could have went to a guidance counselor. I could have went to the principal. But then it's like, I don't want to do that either. I don't want to draw attention to myself. And sometimes when you tell on the person that's bullying you, that makes it 10 times worse. So it was a lot going on and I didn't really know what to do. And it's like, sometimes I really feel like I can't talk to nobody in my family. And it was, for some reasons, I can't. So I really wasn't hanging out with my friends, talking to my friends. I really wasn't doing schoolwork at all. Like, I don't even know what I was doing. I was just staring at the wall, I guess, at the house. I was just surviving. So yeah, it led to self-harm and thoughts of suicide. It did. I'm being honest. This is a bullying video. Like I said, I felt like I was better off dead. I really did at one point. You know, a few points. Like I got depression. It happens quite often. Not lately though. You know, the Lord been watching over me. But yeah, so pretty much my friend tried to help me by telling the gym teacher. She was like, you know, Kalila did this, blah, blah, blah. So the gym teacher, of course, well, quite naturally, as a teacher, you have to report that. So she went and she reported it. And that ended up just making the situation worse, right? Because my gym class was at the end of the day, I think. So I went home. It was like a Friday and my grandma was picking me up. So I went home and I was coming over here for the weekend. This is when I lived with my dad. And she was like, why your school calling me? Like, if you got black parents, you know, they really feel like black people don't go through stuff. They really feel like black people don't have depression and stuff. So she was not real supportive. To me, she wasn't. She was like more so mad that the school was calling her. She's like, why are they calling? Why the school calling? Why are they saying this, that happened? And I'm not trying to sit here to dog my grandma. I'm not, you know, but I'm just saying this is how it happened. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, sis, I'm struggling to live and you're not helping the situation at all, you know? And it's like, she was like, you just told me the other day, why didn't you do this, blah, blah. And it's like, that's not the problem. Like, why don't we try to fix the problem at hand? You know, and I don't really remember much about my dad and my uncle's conversation. But obviously, me and my grandma always been a little bit closer. We're two females. Like, I mean, me and my dad were like this, but he's still a male at the end of the day. So I'm not going to talk to him about certain things. Like, I'm not going to go to my dad about my period cramps or like, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like little things I'm not going to go to him for. You know, but I don't really remember his response and my uncle's response, but I know there was one, you know, because everything that happens with me, even if it's personal, they know. Like, I have no business, okay? Let me be honest with y'all. When my period came on when I was like a child, like I said, my dad and my uncle knew, and I was like, why they gotta know? But anyway, but yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting reaction, and I feel like if I was a mother and I found out that my daughter was going through something like that, I think I would be more calm and be like, you know, first off, answer the phone when the school calls, and then be like, okay, then sit down and have a conversation and not be hostile at the beginning. Like, even if she was just like, I'm not gonna sit there and say she wasn't surprised, she wasn't shocked, she wasn't hurt, whatever, but it's like, you're not helping the situation by being hostile. Like, why the school calling? Why? You know, like, I was like, oh my God. But anyway, but that's the thing that schools don't think about. Like, if I was in like an abusive family, for example, that would make the abuse worse, because you know what I'm saying? Like, CPS and stuff can get called. So it's like, schools need to realize what they doing when they do it. Like, you don't know what's going on at home, so you shouldn't stir up the trouble. Because that's what can happen. I'm not saying I was in an abusive household, but I'm saying for people that are, schools calling and stuff like that, I know that's their policy and blah, blah, blah. Just in case the kid decides to go off themselves. They got to do what they got to do, but you got to really do it a little bit better. That's just my advice. And I would hope that when I have my children one day, that I approach the situation better. Because it happens. Depression is a thing. And I don't know if it's genetics or not, but I hope my kids don't have it. But yeah, so pretty much I was told I can't go back to school. Literally. I was at home when the situation happened, but I couldn't go back to school until I got help. And then, oh yes, oh, I just thought about something. You know what made the situation worse? My grandmother, my uncle, and my dad said that I'm not allowed to stay home alone. So I had to stay here with my grandmama and be watched like a hawk. And I was like, yeah, this is really helping the situation. It literally made the situation worse. Like, she thought that I was better, and then like I was like feeling better, but no, like I was just hiding it better. And even still afterwards, the same thing that made me get into that situation still happened. I literally, like, I'm not even trying to go that deep, but it's like I was still self-harming even in like 2022. Like, I'm not trying to make it like a bragging thing. I'm just being honest. Like, that didn't change anything. It just made me hide it better. You know, you find different spots, you know. So it's like, there's really ways you have to approach certain things in life. And it's just the way that everything was approached, it just didn't help. So I used to stay home alone when my dad would go to work. And if I was at home because I was sick or I just didn't have school, I had no problem staying home. I had a dog. But afterwards, my grandma said I was not allowed to stay home, and then my dad said I was not allowed to stay home. So that just made the situation worse. So I had to stay here being watched like a hawk. And it was just not, I'm so happy I just thought about that. And thinking about it makes me mad all over again. And I said to her, I was like, but I didn't do it when I was home alone. I did it when y'all was all here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why can't I stay home alone? It was really stupid. But I was not allowed to go back to school until I got help, right? So I had to go see a therapist for a few times. And I think I only seen her like maybe once or twice. And I said, can I go back to school? She was like, yeah, I don't see why you can't go back to school. And I'm cool. And then they were like, oh, we want to continue sessions. And I said, I don't want to continue sessions. So I didn't go. And I remember my dad forcing me to go to this girl. And because I think he knew her because he worked with her or something. And I have no problem with her. But I don't like being forced to do something I don't want to do. So I remember literally crying on my way to go to therapy because I was being forced by gunpoint. Not literally, but literally, y'all have fathers, to go. So I was really mad about that. And it really didn't help anything. Like, I honestly really did not feel better until like 2022. Like, literally, that's only 3 years ago. And honestly, the only difference with that is that I gave my life over to Christ. Like, all that counseling that they forced me into and therapy they forced me into did not help. And me being forced to stay out of school, which keeps my mind off of things, obviously other than the bullying, didn't help anything either. So that's pretty much how that went down. I failed algebra that year. I almost failed chemistry, but my teacher, I don't know, she's a blessing from God, and I thank God for her all the time when I think about it. She gave me 2 extra credit points. I had like let's say I had like a 65 in class. You need like a 67. She gave me 2 extra credit points to pass me. No, I did not do anything to get extra credit. She just a blessing from God. She did that. I don't know if you're allowed to do that or not. I don't care, because if I seen her now, I would give her the biggest bear hug, because obviously you don't see her when the grades come out. But I would have failed chemistry and algebra. I had to retake algebra in my senior year, which wasn't a problem, but other than COVID, but that's life. But she's just a true blessing from God. So I don't know if she knew, like, I don't know if my guidance counselor told my teachers what was going on, but she was just, and then I always, like, at the end of the school year, I remember her always just kind of checking on me more and stuff like that. So maybe she did know, or maybe she just had some intuition. I don't know if she was a mother or not, but she was really a blessing from God. I mean, little slow to answer her emails, but when things happen or whatever, she was there to help me. So that's my situation, how I was bullied in high school. What I would say to my old self is that don't let nobody ruin your life, and don't let nobody's words hurt you. Words hurt, they do. And since you was big, I mean, I have to say what I gotta say. But I wouldn't let my advice to anybody going through high school, because high school is hard, y'all. Really, high school is hard. And I had the kind of parents that would get mad at me if I got a D, or if I got a C, or if I got a B. I remember one time I came home happy I got a 75, and I was told, why you get a 75? I was like, sis, I did my hardest. Like, high school was hard for me. And you know how it is with having parents. And it's like I said, 75 was not a good grade. Look, you know what was so happy? You know what made me so happy about going to college is that not no parent could see my grades but me. Sometimes I lie. I'm like, oh yeah, I got 100, got a 50. You know what I'm saying? But that was the best thing. And look, I can go to the doctors by myself. Like, people be like, oh man, I hate that my mom can't go to the doctors with me. I said, I love it. I can finally talk. And finally, after having a person, it is what it is. I love my family. Little things are little things, that I hope I don't do when I have my children. But, I was just so happy to go to college and I could finally have my own grades. And nobody got to know what grades I got. And they can't get in my grades, okay? But my advice to you is to just, if you're into faith, I would say pray. Prayer is going to get you through it. But honestly, reach out. Find a trusted friend, like I said, if you and your parents are tight and you and your grandmother are tight and they don't judge and they listen and they give you advice, then I would say reach out. But just don't do it alone. High school is hard. Life is hard, And it's like you're going through a lot in high school. And it's like if you had a teacher like I had, my teacher had a crush on my dad so bad. Like she was calling my dad every day. And I was like, that man don't like you. But that's another story for another day. But I would just say keep going. It's going to get tough. But at the end of the day, you're going to be able to look back one day and appreciate that it's happened. Because, look at me now, and I don't like I gained a little bit of weight, but I'm not like too worried about my weight. Even now, like being 150, I really don't care. You know, like sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I was back to being 130 something. But it's like, I don't care what y'all got to say about me no more, because y'all not going to pay my bills. Y'all not going to get me into heaven. There's nothing that y'all going to do for me in life. My grandma's watching bowling. But, you know, there's nothing that these people, these bullies, and let's be for real, when they're a bully, there's something going on with them too. So pray for them as well. And also, it's like, if that's just their personality, they're not going to get too far in life either. Like, because they're going to be losing jobs. They're going to be losing husbands, wife, whatever. Because if that's your, you know, that's their attitude, then it's going to come back and bite them in the butt. You know, karma is a thing. I believe in it. And what goes around comes around. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell knowing I post, and share this video with your friends. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Love you.